They say success is the best revenge. But Marcus Williams never wanted revenge. He just wanted to be enough. Enough for his mother. Enough for his dreams. Enough for her. Tonight, a new waitress arrives for her first shift. She is 32, sharp, but something in her eyes tells a different story, one of starting over, of swallowed pride, of needing this job more than she ever expected to need anything. She walks through the door. Marcus turns from the host's stand. Their eyes meet. She stops cold. He does not. Ashley. 10 years ago, Marcus Williams had nothing that mattered to the world outside of himself. No car, he took the bus. No savings account worth mentioning. No college degree from anywhere impressive. He had worked nights at a Best Buy and weekends at a catering company for 2 straight years, saving every dollar he could. And the one thing he had, more than anything else, was simple. Love. He loved her. Okay, just be real. Just say what you feel. Marcus, what are you doing here? I needed to see you. Ashley, we have been in each other's lives for 3 years. I know I don't have much right now. I know I'm not where I want to be. But I care about you more than anything, and I needed you to know that. I'm working on something. I have a plan, and I want you in it. Marcus, we think very highly of you as a person. We do. But Ashley has opportunities. She's been introduced to young men, lawyers, doctors, men with futures already built. What are you offering her? A bus pass and a dream, Marcus? I can't. My family. It's just, I can't. Ashley, look at me. Is this them talking? Or is this you? Please go, Marcus. She closes the door. Marcus stands on that front step for a long moment. He looks down at the sunflowers in his hand. Then, slowly, carefully, he sets them against the door, and he walks away. He did not cry that night. He sat alone in his studio apartment in East Atlanta, stared at the water-stained ceiling, and asked himself one question. So what are you going to do about it? He could have answered that question with bitterness, with anger. A lot of men do, and no one would blame them. But Marcus Williams made a different choice. He pulled out the notebook he had been carrying for 2 years, the one full of business ideas he jotted down between shifts. And he made one list, just one. But it would change everything. What do I actually have? Savings, $3,200. Skills. I know how to talk to people. I know food from catering. I know what makes a meal memorable. Experience. I've eaten at 50 restaurants in this city. I know what's missing. Time. I have nothing tying me down. He pauses. Then he writes one more line at the bottom, and he underlines it twice. I have nothing to prove to anyone, only to myself, Marcus. Closing the notebook, jaw set, eyes steady. All right then, let's get to work. That moment, that quiet, private, completely unspectacular moment inside a $650 a month studio apartment. That was the moment the empire began. He did not start with a restaurant. He started with Tupperware. Marcus spent $1,400 of his $3,200 in savings on commercial kitchen rental time. Packaging, a logo he designed himself on a free app, and flyers he printed at FedEx office. He called the business Williams Fresh, weekly meal prep delivered to your door. Yes, sir. 7 fully prepped meals delivered Sunday evening, ready to heat and eat all week. Chicken, salmon, lean beef options, all macro balanced. First week is $65. After that, $79 a week. You want to try it? For 2 months, he barely kept his head above water. The margins on meal prep were brutal. Between kitchen rental, ingredients, packaging, and gas for deliveries in his borrowed car, he was working 14-hour days and clearing less than $400 a month profit. Okay, why isn't this working? Why is this not working? The food is great, man. I just forget to order on time. I need someone to basically just remind me. I need office food. My whole team is ordering DoorDash every day, and it's killing us. Can you do bulk? The portions are good, but I want more variety. Same rotation gets old. He listened. This is the first real lesson of building a business. Your customers will tell you exactly what they need. Most people are too busy pitching to hear it. Marcus listened. He stopped chasing individual customers. He went directly to offices. He walked into 35 companies in the Buckhead and Midtown business districts over 3 weeks. He was turned away at 31 of them, but 4 said yes. And those 4 changed the trajectory of everything. I'm not asking for a commitment right now. Give me 1 trial week on me, completely free. If your team isn't raving about the food, you owe me nothing. 0. But if they love it, we talk about a weekly contract. That fair? Free? All right. 1 week. Show me what you've got. The trial week became a 6-month contract. Then word spread, office by office, building by building. Within 10 months, Marcus had 9 corporate accounts, over 400 meals a day. He hired 3 people. He leased a cargo van, and then someone with real money noticed. Frank, I've been tracking your operation for about 3 months. Your client retention is extraordinary, 93% at 9 months. In food service, that number doesn't exist. So tell me, Marcus, what's the real vision here? Marcus, a restaurant, Mr. Delgado. Not a fast casual spot, not another gastropub, a real dining experience, but one that actually feels like home. Premium ingredients, intentional atmosphere, food that makes you feel like someone actually cooked it for you. Atlanta doesn't have that gap filled the right way yet. Why restaurants? That's one of the hardest businesses on earth. Why not scale the B2B meal service that's already working? Because I know what it feels like to eat a meal alone and feel invisible. A great restaurant doesn't just feed you. It makes you feel like you belong somewhere. I want to build a place where everybody feels like that. Frank, I'll put in $300,000. I want 30% equity. Marcus, I appreciate that, sir. I can do 20%, not lower. I built what brought you to this table from $3,200 in 2 years of 4 a.m. mornings. I'm protecting my stake, 25%, and I mentor you personally for 18 months. 22% and we have a deal. 22%. Done. I like you, kid. Marcus had never sat across from an investor in his life. But 2 years on the phone with catering clients, learning how to read a room, when to push, when to hold, had quietly turned him into a negotiator. That skill was worth more than any business school course he never took. What happened next did not happen overnight. People love to say Marcus Williams built a restaurant empire in 5 years, as if those 5 years were easy. They were not. Here is what those 5 years actually looked like. Year 1. Marcus and Frank opened the first Williams Table restaurant in the old 4th Ward neighborhood of Atlanta. 80 seats, industrial warm design, a menu of 22 dishes, every single one of them tested over 100 batches in Marcus's rented kitchen before it ever touched a customer's plate. On opening night, every seat was filled, not because of a marketing budget, but because Marcus personally called or texted every one of his 400-plus meal prep clients and invited them. The line was out the door by 7 p.m. year 2. Expansion to a second location in Decatur, it nearly destroyed them. The general manager quit 2 weeks before opening. A vendor contract fell through. There was a 19-day stretch where Marcus did not know if he could make payroll. He solved it the same way he solved every problem. He showed up earlier, worked later, and called in every favor he had earned. He personally renegotiated 3 supplier agreements in 1 week and took 0 salary for 6 weeks to keep his staff paid. Year 3, Williams Table won the Atlanta Magazine Best New Restaurant Award. A local TV segment aired. Within 48 hours, reservations were booked solid for 6 weeks out. Marcus hired a full operations team and brought in a director of hospitality. Year 4, Williams Table entered the Nashville market. Brutal. The most expensive and complicated thing Marcus had ever done. Nashville almost broke the brand. Instead, within 14 months, the Nashville location was in the city's top 10 rated dining experiences. Year 5, a private equity firm out of New York flew to Atlanta to make an offer. Mr. Williams, we're prepared to offer you an acquisition of 40% equity at a valuation of $18 million. This gives you immediate liquidity and the infrastructure to scale nationally within... Calmly cutting in. I appreciate the offer, I really do. But I didn't build this to cash out at 40%. I built it to be great. If you're interested in 15% with a board observer's seat and right of first refusal on future rounds, I'm open to that conversation. Otherwise, I'm comfortable with our current growth trajectory. They negotiated across 4 meetings over 6 weeks. Marcus accepted 18% on his terms with full protective provisions and a clause that required board approval for any future dilution. The man who once took the bus to work was now sitting at the head of a table, protecting a business valued at $22 million. Ashley Carter had lived a very different decade. She had married a man her family loved. The right last name, the right career, the right address. And for a while, it all looked exactly like what it was supposed to look like. But the man who presented so well at dinner parties was a different person behind closed doors. The marriage lasted 5 years. The divorce was quiet, expensive, and humiliating in the specific way that only a public collapse of a private life can be. The savings were drained by lawyers. The house was sold. The social circle, so carefully built around the marriage, quietly moved on. Ashley had spent the past year rebuilding, working as a marketing coordinator. But a company downsizing had cost her that job 3 months ago. She had been looking. She reads the whole thing. Her coffee goes cold. She zooms in on the photo. Marcus in a suit, standing in his restaurant, laughing at something off camera. Something complicated moves through her face. Marcus Williams. She sets the phone down, stares at the wall. She had seen the job listing 3 days ago. Front of house staff, Williams Table, $24 per hour plus tips. She needed the work. She applied without thinking too hard about it. Now she stares at the wall and thinks very hard about it. She almost didn't go in. She stood on that sidewalk and she thought about walking away. She thought about calling a friend, finding another option, anything that would mean she didn't have to walk through that door. But her rent was due in 11 days. And so she walked in. Welcome to Williams Table. Mr. Williams is very specific about one thing above all else. Every single guest in this room should feel like the most important person here. You greet every table within 90 seconds. You know this menu cold. Ingredients, allergens, preparation, all of it. And you handle problems before they become problems. Questions? Scene. Marcus walks onto the floor for his pre-service check. Just a moment. 10 years of building, of deciding, of becoming. And for 1 second, he is 24 again, standing on a front step holding sunflowers. Then it passes. Walking toward her, voice level. Ashley. Ashley. Voice tight, eyes meeting his. Marcus. I didn't realize when I applied that it was, I can go. I understand if you want me to. You were hired by my team on merit. If you do your job, you're welcome here. This is a professional environment. He moves on. She watches him walk away. In 30 seconds, at a restaurant host stand, Marcus Williams told Ashley Carter more about who he had become than 10 years of distance ever could. Can I have a minute? When you have one. You've got about 2 minutes before the 8 o'clock reservations hit the door. I read the article, the Business Chronicle piece, about everything you built. And I wanted to say I'm sorry. Not because you need to hear it, I know you don't, but because I've needed to say it for a long time. What you said to me 10 years ago, what you didn't say, that broke something in me. I'm not going to pretend it didn't. It did. But what broke was my confidence, not my direction. If anything, that door closing made me walk through 100 others I might have been too comfortable to try. How are you not angry? Marcus, because I made a decision a long time ago. Anger is expensive. It costs you time, energy, creativity, things I needed every bit of for this. You deserved better from me. You deserved better from me 10 years ago. Yes, I did. Table 7 needs you. She nods. She goes. And something in her that has been wound tight for years, some knot of pride and regret and self-protection, begins quietly to loosen. He had a speech prepared, a good one. Gracious, professional, properly humble. He had practiced it 3 times. But when he stood at that podium and looked out at the room, something stopped him. He saw the edges of the crowd, the young people, the ones who looked like he once looked, the ones who were sitting a little too straight, smiling a little too carefully, trying to look like they belonged in a room they weren't sure about yet. He put his notes away. Thank you for this. I had a whole speech ready, but I want to try something different tonight. I want to tell you about a door that closed on me. The room quiets immediately. 10 years ago, I got rejected by someone I loved. The reason was simple. I was broke. I had no status. I didn't come from the right family, didn't have the right last name. I stood outside a door and I felt something I had never felt in my life before. The specific shame of being told that who you are right now is not enough. Maybe it wasn't a person. Maybe it was a bank that denied your loan, a school that waitlisted you, a room full of investors who smiled politely and never called back. Maybe it was someone in your own family who loved you but couldn't hide the doubt in their eyes. I'm going to tell you 5 things tonight. Not motivational poster stuff. What I actually learned. Marcus. Number 1. Pain has a direction. If you let it, rejection will point you exactly where you need to go. Not away from your dream, toward a better version of it. The night that door closed on me, I went home and made a list of every skill I had. That list became a business. That business became this. Marcus. Number 2. Build skills, not feelings. I was devastated that night. But the next morning, I didn't spend time processing my feelings. I spent it mapping out what I knew how to do and what I needed to learn next. I kept adding to that skills list every single week, communication, negotiation, food costing, contract law, hiring, marketing. I made myself dangerous by refusing to stop learning. Marcus. Number 3. Speed beats perfection. Every time. My first product was a meal prep service out of a rented kitchen. It was not perfect. The branding was rough. The margins were thin. The whole thing barely worked. But it was real. And a flawed real thing will beat a perfect imaginary one every single day of the week. Number 4. And I need you to hear this. Your financial status right now is not your identity. It is a starting point. That is all it is. It is changeable. It changes the moment you decide to change it. And you, only you, can make that decision. And number 5, the most important one. Do not build your life to impress the people who doubted you. Build it because the world deserves what you have to offer. Build it because somewhere out there is a 24-year-old version of you, riding the bus home, deciding whether or not to believe that this is possible for someone like them. Build it for that person. 3 phones recorded that speech and posted it the same night. By the following morning, it had been shared over 600,000 times. You seen this? Our boss went viral last night. Watch this. Ashley watches the video. All of it. 5 minutes without moving. When it ends, she doesn't say anything. Man, I knew he was impressive. But that's something else. Ashley stares at the blank screen for a long moment. She stands and looks at that sign. She didn't feel jealousy. She was past that. What she felt was more honest and more difficult. The specific ache of understanding, clearly too late, that the sunflowers had been real. That the boy in the iron shirt had been real. That she had made a choice built on fear, and fear had cost her something she could not get back. But here's the other thing this story's about. Standing under that sign, Ashley Carter opened the Notes app on her phone, and she started a list. Skills, strengths, starting point. She was 32. She was beginning from behind, but she was beginning. And sometimes, often, actually, that is enough. Marcus's story does not just belong to Marcus. It belongs to everyone who watches one person prove that something is possible and feels that proof light something up inside them. It belongs to everyone who watches one person prove that something is possible and feels that proof light something up inside them. I'm putting in my notice. I got offered a brand coordinator position at a hospitality group downtown. I wanted to tell you in person. That's great, Ashley. Really. Congratulations. You wrote me a recommendation, didn't you? Diana told me. You were good at your job. A good recommendation was the accurate thing to do. Why? After everything between us, why would you do that? Because I decided a long time ago to be the kind of person who has enough. Enough success, enough security, enough self-respect, that I don't need other people to struggle in order to feel good about where I am. That kind of scarcity mindset, that's for people who haven't done the work yet. I've done the work. You really have changed. So have you. I watched you work this past 6 weeks. You're disciplined. You take feedback seriously. You're kind to the guests and to the staff. That person was always inside you, Ashley. Life just required her to show up. I'm sorry for who I was, for the choice I made. I know you've moved on. I know you don't need this from me. But it's true, and I needed to say it. I know, and I accepted that a long time ago. Go build something great. She stands. She extends her hand. He shakes it. Not as people who were once in love. As two people who have both, in their own separate, difficult, honest ways, earned their next chapter. Marcus Williams did not become a success because the world was kind to him. It wasn't. He did not make it because he got lucky. He didn't. He made it because on the night the world told him he was not enough, he chose to answer that statement with a single question. Enough for what? And then he went home and made a list. And then he made a call. And then he showed up early. And then he did it again the next day. And the day after that. He could not control who loved him. He could not control the family he was born into, the neighborhood he grew up in, the doors that closed in his face. He could not control any of that. But he could control his notebook, his skills, his first call, his next decision, and the one after that. That is the whole secret. There is no other secret. You will be rejected. You will be underestimated. Someone will look at your bank balance, your address, your resume, and they will decide your ceiling for you. Let them. And then go build something so undeniable that they have to question everything they thought they knew. If you are watching this right now, and you are sitting in your own apartment, looking at your own notebook, wondering if any of this is possible for someone like you, this story is for you. The door that just closed. Go build your own.